Greetings dear student. In this class we are going to see how we are going to enter into the Visual Studio, and we are going to see how we are going to work with Visual Studio. So when we go for a Visual Studio, there are different versions, as you know. Here I am having Visual Studio 2010. You might also have higher versions, or you may also have a lower versions depending upon your systems. Now this is going to be the environment where I am going to work with Visual Studio. So our syllabus is concerned with Visual Studio. As a backend, I am going to work with C#. How to open a project? Everything in C# is considered is going to be considered as a project. For creating a project, I have to click the file menu followed by the new followed by the project. It will pop up a menu like this. In this, I can select what type of programming I am going to do with this C#. See here, window form. You can create a window form. We can create a WPF application. We can create a console application. You can also create web applications, class library files, Silverlight applications. Any types of applications can be created using this Visual Studio. Right now, I am going to work with Windows application. How I am going to enter into this window application? Here I have selected the window forms. Then I have given a name for my program or my project. So I'm going to give the name as first. First is going to be the name of my window application. So I am going to click it over here. Now this environment will be open. In this environment, I am going to write the program. Here I have to be very concerned about certain windows. This is going to be the property windows. This windows will be providing the properties of control. For example, if I am going to click this button, this property will be changed to form 1. This is form 1. So this property window will be displaying the form, properties of the form. So this is actually said as 3, and see, consider the size of this one. Size is said to be as 300 into 300. If I am going to alter the size here, see, I am making this size a bigger one. I am making this form in a bigger size. See what happens. The size automatically changes. The height and the width of this window automatically changes. You can observe it clearly over here. So whatever is displayed over here speaks about the form, not form, what control is selected. How to find whether my control is selected? If I am clicking it, I can find a hotspot over here. This is the hotspot. Here I can find a hotspot. Here I can find a hotspot. If a hotspot is around a control, then we can consider that control is selected. The next one, set. I will be pasting some controls over this form. This form is actually a container. I will be pasting some controls over this form. For example, where these controls are present. These controls are present in toolbox. See, when I go over toolbox, I can find numerous controls. See here, pointers, buttons, checkbox, combo box, datetime picker, label. All these controls can be pasted in this form. Let me show you. First, I am going to select a label box. Here is a label box. I am going to select this label box and I am going to place it over here. Double click will make the label to be placed over here. See, similarly, this label is selected. If this label is selected, I will show you the left property of the label box. Location over here. See what happens. Location, X value and Y value. This is Here we are saying it as the x value. This is the x value and this is going to be the y value. I have passed over 126 pixels towards the left and 67 pixels from the top. So this we have to consider. This is called x and y values of my label is placed at this coordinate value. Right here I have pasted a label. Now this label, what is the use of this label box, that we must know. The use of this label box is just used for displaying purpose. For displaying anything I can use this label box. For example, if I am going to give, if here it is written as label 1, I want to change this label 1 to my to other name for it. Let it be username. So I have typed here username. I have typed here username and I am pressing the enter value. What happens actually? Actually, this label, in this label, it was already displayed as label 1. Now it is displayed as username. So this label has none other, is used for none other purpose rather than using to display your value. Right. This is the one. Now I don't like this font. I want to change my font. See, I can change my font like this. Here I have a font property. Now I can select this one and click over the button here. What happens? A pop-up window appears. Here I can go over here and I can change the font name. I can make it bold. I can make it bigger than earlier Itapri and press OK. What happens? The change. You can feel the change in this label box. So I don't want this color. I want to change the color. You can change the color. Here the colors are given. If you can also go for system colors, custom colors. Custom colors, you can go for a custom color and you can pick a color and it will be displayed over there. Or you can just alter this color like this. Or we can go over here and we can change the color as we like. There are numerous colors which you can pick from this particular site. You can also use a custom colors. Anything can be used over here. Now I can change the color. Now this one. If I want to paste the image over that, then I can also do it. Just I have to import an image over the I don't know where the image is. Pictures. Let's go see pictures. Thing over there. I don't know where the picture is. This is going, let it make it, this is going to be a picture like this. See, I can load a picture over it. If not, I will find a picture where it is and I will show you where. So it is in pick G::pick, there are pictures. Now I can load a picture over this application. And so see, if I want to load an image, I can go to that particular point. The images are at G colon, this we see G colon, and in PIC I have some pictures. I can load any type of pictures over there. So I can find the picture over here. The picture is loaded here. Similarly, the picture is over here and the font is also in the same color. So I can change the color of the font to white, so it will be displayed in a good format. See. So these are some of the properties of a label box. See, in this label box, I have changed the name. I have moved it from one position, so the location automatically changes. Similarly, I have imported a picture over it, and I have also changed the font color, font name, etc. in it. There is also some borders also we can change if the border style. The border style is always null. If you want to have some fixed style of borders, you can give a fixed style of borders. Or if you want a fixed 3D style, you can change, you can feel the difference in it. If none, if a border is none, no borders will be displayed. So this is how we have to insert a button, insert a label into a form. Similarly, if I want to insert a label, insert a text box, here I have a text box. I can double click on it, or I can just click on it and drag it over here. See, if I drag it, this I can use a text box. The use of the text box is to get input and provide output to the user. Normally, the text property of the text box will be blank, right? And it will be having a password character over here. Password character here. If you type like this, anything you type in this text box, it will be masked. See, I will show you. I'm going to run this application. For running this application, I can click the button. See, anything which I type, it will be in a masked way. So this is one of the important property of the text box. If it is going to be none, if I am see, I have changed the pass character, I have deleted the pass character, and now I am going to execute this program. You can execute this program by clicking on this green button, or you can go to the menu debug and start debugging, or you can directly press F5 button. Any way you can run. Now whenever I type something, I can see what I am typing. If I don't want to see what I am typing in the text box, then you have to use the password character, right? So this is how you have to use a text box. This text box also have numerous properties, like multi-line is one of the property which will be set as false. That is, whatever you type in this text box, it will not go to the next line. If you want that, if you want some of the data you enter into this text box has to be moved to the next line, then this multi-line property has to be changed to true. Normally it will be in a false state, so no word wrapping occurs. If it is true, you can type it in more than one line. See, if it is false, what happened to the text box? It becomes very small. If I am making it true, the text box becomes large, so I can type in multiple lines. So this is one of the property of a text box. So this is the second property which I am telling about the text box. It has a read-only property. If you want a text box to be in a read-only format, that is, the user should not type anything into the text box, then you have to make this read-only property to true. See, if I am making this read-only property to true, and I am debugging this program, I cannot type anything. See, I am typing over here, but I cannot type anything in this text box, right? So this is also one of the main property of a text box. So if you want to type into the text box, the read only property must be false. Multi-line properties we have come across. Password character I have told you. Read only I have told you. Similarly, here you are having a font style. You can change the font style depending upon your needs. How the thing has to be typed over here. Depending upon the needs, you can change it. Text property. If you type something over the text property, then it will be displayed by default. It will be displayed over here. So normally a text box will not come with the text over it. In some cases there may be a need. The word property is true. If the word property is set to false, even if you are using a multi-line, you cannot type in the next line. So these are some of the important properties. The other properties like minimum size, maximum size, margins, locked. If it is locked, if I am making this, see, if I am making this property as locked is true. Now I cannot move this text box to any area. Once a control is locked, that control cannot be moved to any part. If I want to move this to some other, if I want to move it over here, then I have to make this lock property into false state. Now I can make it a move over here. If this control property is locked, then we cannot move this property. These are some of the things which we must know while using this controls. Thank you. We will meet in the next session.